सूट मैं लाहौर तो लिया जे पा लेंगी तां दस देनी असीं करदे आ दिलों गोरीए जे चा लेंगी तां दस देनी I'm not trying to say it, trying to tell you what it is wanna give you everything but don't be on the fence नाज़िकिया दिल साडा तोड़ी ना देखी प्यार ना ले सूट मोड़ी ना देखी हुण तेरी हाँ या ना दस दे पा लेंगी जान या ना दस दे
Score! Safely! Here's Cole Caulfield. Goes around celebrating and scores!
You got a mind that I just can't read, so you gotta tell me.
Sur il possible Cordione con Gargiago! Comanda gol Gargiacek to Brusk! Here he comes, the McDavid Express! He scores!
Gotta tell me.
Hello, Canada hockey fans, the United States and Newfoundland.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet.
You want action? We've got action for you here tonight.
Oh, did you see that?
What a performance. Doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, baby, what a play! What a goal! He's got a step. He's in alone. Here's a chance for Crosby. He scores! Absolutely amazing. Let us start by saying Donwad. Thank you, Karan Ajla, Canada's first Canadian Punjabi Juno Award winner. Randeep Jandas, the maestro behind Hockey Night in Canada, the Punjabi edition. That is his favorite singer. Karan used to write songs for others before stepping up to the microphone himself. He's become a global sensation. He's there with One Republic on our opening tonight. So, yeah, big moment. You can see some of our venues this evening as we hit the airwaves from Winnipeg and Raleigh and Ottawa and Buffalo, and later tonight from Seattle. It's a big show, 4 games at 7 ET on this Hockey Night in Canada, presented by Rogers. And this stays out from the trade deadline, so Elliot Friedman's in solitary confinement. He'll make an appearance in the second intermission. There you see
naked, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. Streaking in to tell us who's going and for what. All right, Jennifer Botterill, Luke Gasdick's in for Kelly Rudy, and there, of course, is Kevin BX. Listen, the venues tonight, you know how Ohio, they have the Shoe hosting Detroit and Columbus. We have 4 venues this evening who are joined by great achievement, and we'll begin in Buffalo, New York, because Josh Allen is your NFL MVP, so they're used to greatness down in Buffalo. Winnipeg's used to the very same thing because they've got the CFL equivalent. Our most outstanding player, the great running back, Brady Oliveira. He's from Winnipeg and runs for Winnipeg and took it all for the CFL this year. Over at Ottawa, your greatness lies in repeat Canadian Scotties Tournament of Hearts champion, world champion, Rachel Holman. Did you see one of the shots she pulled off? An unreal, finding a way through the hole to make a 2-point. Just great performance by Rachel Holman. And finally to Raleigh, North Carolina, you are the holder of the most gentlemanly player in the NHL. He was in the running for the Four Nations MVP. There's no doubt about it. Jacob Slavin, tremendous. So on the forefront of all 4 fronts, you have excellence. With that, let's get it to Sean Reynolds. Sean, you're first in Winnipeg.
Ron, after losing their last game, snapping a franchise record 11-game win streak, I wouldn't quite say the Winnipeg Jets have come crashing down to earth, more like dipped slightly in the stratosphere. But maybe the return of Morgan Barron from injury will help to buoy this team back in the right direction. As for the Philadelphia Flyers, so many people wondering, will they be sellers by the trade deadline? Scott Lawton, his name has shown up quite a bit in rumors. He had some fun with that, tweeting his version of the Last Supper last night, but it didn't turn out to be the case. case. He's suited up, ready to go here tonight against the Winnipeg Jets, a team who he's been linked to in some of those trade rumors. Let's send it to Gene Principe in Carolina.
Sean, thanks very much. The hockey market is a lot like the stock market. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And right now, the price of oil and the points of oil are slowly sliding into an area where the Oilers hope the month of March will change things in their favor. And we are in hockey and basketball country. 1983 NCAA basketball championships. NC State with an epic upset. And Jimmy Valmano, don't give up, don't ever give up, and I'm sure the Oilers will hold to that tonight, and in basketball terms, we'll try and rebound to end this road trip. Now here's Kyle.
Yeah, Gene, the Senators need W's. They need to find more scoring, and perhaps the tonic for all of that is the return of Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Shane Pinto here tonight. Now, part of Tkachuk's pregame routine is he puts his stick all alone out in the hallway. That image, like a bat signal that the captain is back. He took a few extra days to nurse that nagging injury of his so he could be, as he put it, like an animal over these final 24 games. There's no superheroes coming to help their playoff hopes, though the Hamburglar is in the house here tonight. That was the best true crime of 2015, and they'd love to see another thriller here this spring. Sean McKenzie now to you in Buffalo.
Kyle, just when you think the Habs are out of it, they pull you back in. 3 straight wins being led by Juraj Slafkovsky, who has been a force lately. He said some interesting things in the media, too. We don't have time to read them all, but Cole's notes, he said his play before the break was embarrassing, and he is playing with anger. Whatever he's doing, it is working. Now, speaking of anger, this was Martin St. Louis at practice yesterday. The message pretty clear. Wake up. Ron, the coach, knows that if the Habs are really going to get back into the playoff picture, they can't just be good. They have to be great.
Sean, as a referee, you don't know how many times I was told to wake up. Neat to see. Raleigh and Seattle, by the way, for Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi edition. Let's see if we hear Harner Ryan sing on the tabla in the background here. Karan Ashla, back to you.
Gotta tell me.
Center, where Montreal looks to stay hot. The Habs looking like an entirely different team coming out of the break tonight, trying to make it 4 in a row. We'll have puck drop coming up in just a few moments, but first, the national anthems. Enjoy, everyone.
And the singing about Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner, performed tonight by Cammy Clooney.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, so can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's the 299th all-time meeting between Montreal and Buffalo as the two teams will tango on the front end of a back-to-back weekend to kick off the month of March tonight. Opportunity is knocking for the Canadians to waltz back into the playoff mix. That is, if they can handle the Sabre dance. Starting goaltenders for tonight's game, Jakub Dobiš has lost 3 straight since his 5-0 start. 0-2-1 with an .868 save percentage in that run, but he gets the net again tonight for Montreal. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen allowed 2 goals and 7 shots before being pulled Thursday in Carolina. He has won 5 straight at home, though. Nick Suzuki has a point on 8 of the Canadians' 13 goals since the break. He's on pace to become the first Habs player with 80 points in a season since 07-08, when Alex Kovalev had 84. Tage Thompson leads the way for Buffalo as his 28 goals are tied with Cole Caulfield for second most by U.S.-born player this season. Sabres wearing their old black, red, white, and silver uniforms with a goat head tonight as we dial it back a little retro style here in Buffalo on a Saturday night. Peyton Krebs will take the face-off against Jake Evans, and we're underway in a building that is filled with many sweaters of the red, white, and blue variety tonight. As Dobiš will stop it back in the net. Lays it around the glass, knocked down on the boards by Tuck, but it's chipped out to centers. Connor Clifton, who's back in the Buffalo lineup tonight, will push it forward. And a break now for Beck Mallenstein as he'll get it into the corner. Tuck got it back around for Mallenstein, checked by Armia. Puck thrown towards the net. Dobiš trying to find it. It's in the slot and picked up by the Canadians as Carrier will pick it off the boards and out. Heineman will chase after it. Heineman trying to hold off J.J. Peterka. Armia Looks to move it, but Heineman back of the net. It's kick free, and in comes Suzuki. He'll throw it to the line. Struble with a shot, and that one makes it through, and it's gloved by Luukkonen.
Well, Struble's got 3 assists in his last few games, and here he just does the right thing. Put the puck to the net. You've got traffic at the net. Heineman does a nice job battling. Look at the support coming in there by Suzuki, following in on the forecheck. And then Heineman, not only does he battle in the corner, he beats them back to the front of the net, gets position in front of the net, and has an opportunity at a rebound if one was to fall out of Luukkonen.
Well, Ryan McLeod steps in against Nick Suzuki. Suzuki won it. Back to the point. Carrier will lift it in. Suzuki in the corner. Back to the net for Cole Caulfield. Caulfield trying to track that puck down, and the brilliant overtime winner against the Sharks on Thursday night in Montreal. Wayne Hudson comes out from behind the net, and Hudson will hand it off for Suzuki. He'll gain the red line and lift it in and step off for a change as Rasmus Dahlins on the puck. Up by Slavkovsky. Puck available as Dvorak came racing in. Just couldn't get it in time. Tage Thompson back the other way. Drops McLeod. Coming in is Bowen Byram with a chance, denied by Dobish. Sabres back up with it. Dahlin will feed it back into his own end, and they'll settle things down. Rasmus Dahlin has a look up ice, and he'll put it through center off the stick of Dylan Cousins. That one got away from Dobish, back to the net. Chance for Buffalo here. Spinning around is Alex Tuch trying to get it on goal. It's tipped out of play.
Well, we know that you have to activate your D to create offense. The back pressure is always so good. And right here, Tage Thompson is going to take this wide as he opens it out wider. That allows Byram coming up the ice right down the middle. No one picks him up. Nice drop pass there by McLeod. And an opportunity for Byram as he goes high on the stick side. Dobish out on the top of the blue paint, taking up a lot of that net. Not much to look at there.
Samuelson will play it in deep. Matheson skates it up to turn back to get it. Tuch was there, got it in front of the net. Carrier trying to clear it away. Dylan Cousins will jump on it. Cousins lays it off into the corner. Here's Jordan Greenway with it. Greenway trying to hold off Carrier. Around the net he goes, has a look around, but he can't get the puck to the point. It's taken away by Josh Anderson, who'll get to center. Then can't get it into the Buffalo zone. He's stopped at the line. He'll pick the pocket of Cousins at center ice. Feed it back to Savard. Will move it across for Arbor Jacka. Look at it. Out of the net. Gallagher racing in. He knocks it down. Pumped along the boards. Trying to see if he can jar that puck loose, and he does. Newhook's got it right in front for Beck. Just slid under his stick. Beck to the line for Jacka. That was blocked as Jack Quinn got on the way. Sabres are on it. Owen Power will clear it out at center. Grabbed by the Canadians, and Beck will bring it back in. Newhook's got it. Shoots towards it, and that one just sizzled wide of the goal. Right in. Got it down low. Mallenstein will clear it out. Struble quickly up the middle, and here comes Patrick Laine. Laine curls back, try to feed it across at the point. Tipped away, though, by Alex Tuch. Jaden Struble gives it back for Lane Hudson. Up the middle as Evans will deflect it in, but it's back to Owen Power. And big hit there is Heineman trying to take a run at Beck Mallenstein, and Mallenstein stood him up, and that puck goes over the glass.
Well, sometimes the guy who's carrying the puck is well aware of you stepping up. He may not look like he was, but Mallenstein picks his head up, and Heineman's in the tracks. And he's a big, solid kid. He runs right over Heineman. Good on Heineman to get in his way. He stopped as well. Maybe he knocked you down, but he didn't get to the blue line. He didn't get in the zone. So get in the way. Even if you get knocked over, I think your teammates appreciate it.
Evans won the draw away from McLeod. Puck lifted out at center. Heineman will settle it down. Slaps it towards the net. That one missed. Evans will pick it up on the boards. Neil Heineman tried to get to it. Now Armia can't get that one to settle down on the slot. It was bouncing on him. Byram up with it. Played around for Dahlin. Gave it back to Byram. And that pass eludes everyone in a Sabres sweater and will be an icing call.
Well, you could tell the little pressure on the Montreal Canadiens as they're approaching their final 25 games. You see the coach on the ice screaming at the players, not happy, telling them to wake up. You know, you've won 3 games in a row. You know, you're getting a bit of a bounce here. You can't afford to just stop playing or think that you're just going to just roll into the next one and it's going to happen. The coach obviously saw his team at practice a little lackadaisical, didn't appreciate it, and kind of telling them, hey, we've got nothing done yet. We got to keep going here, so wake up. And so far, a bit of a sluggish start here.
That 4-game win streak for the Canadiens has been elusive since February of 2022. Slafkovsky got it in front. Caulfield with a chance. Can't beat. Looking in on the short side as Carrier will walk the line, throws it towards the net, and Luukkonen makes a save. He had to contend with some traffic in front with Slafkovsky there.
Well, nice job by Carrier walking the line, and you have to move across that line as you see Slafkovsky over to Suzuki, a little return, and then out in front to Caulfield. And I'm not really quite sure why McLeod didn't even know where Caulfield was. I mean, this guy's got a lot of goals. For McLeod, you got to have your head on a swivel there and pick him up. That's a pretty good scoring chance. And then, of course, walking the line, Carrier, and getting that to the net. That's an art form now. For a defenseman, you have to be mobile, moving laterally along that line to find holes to get the puck to the net.
Connor Clifton sends it around back behind his own net. As Jordan Greenway will get it out to center, back in the Canadian zone where they'll clear it right back out. Greenway now forced in his own end. Suzuki watching him, so they'll ring it around the boards, and Alex Tuck will pick it up. A little bounce pass for Cousins. Over to Clifton. Flipped it in, Lane Hudson. Trying to settle it down, jumped over his stick. Greenway to the point. Bryson with it. Shot towards a goal. It's a body in front, and Nick Suzuki will get it. Get up on the wing for Slafkovsky. Back to Caulfield. Cole Caulfield will get it to center and rolls it in. Connor Clifton turns back with Gallagher watching him. Now the puck sent down the ice. A race for it here in the corner. However, Jack will go after as he holds off Zach Benson. Brendan Gallagher bumped, but he'll get it up ahead for Dvorak. Drop back for Savard. Rolling puck, fires it towards the net and a miss. Gallagher after it. Brendan Gallagher to the point. Jack with a shot. That one deflected a couple times on the way to the net. Sabres will clear it out down the ice. Jack back on it. Both teams get a change. Jack will wait. Has a look up ice and he'll move forward to center. Beck takes a hit. So he tried to lift it in. And Thompson stood up there over Jack Matheson around the boards. New hook goes after it. Gets it up through center and down into the Sabres zone. Byron will hand it off. Gets it right back. And here comes Bowen Byron. Left it for Thompson. Try to play it in deep. Carrier got it to the point. And at the line, a little trouble there for Thompson and a break. And a penalty coming up. Here's Laine with a shot. Looking in the save. They'll knock it down. And an interference call will give the Canadiens the first power play of the night.
Well, Tage Thompson gets caught at the blue line, and I think he gets an ill-advised pass to him right there. I don't think that pass shouldn't have been there, and he was worried Beck was going to get by, so he took him down. of those 11 power play goals came against these Buffalo Sabres on December 17th. And we're not showing you the same highlight over and over and over. This is 3 different goals from the exact same spot on Luukkonen. He had his way with them that night, and for the Montreal Canadiens, it was a 6-1 win. And we'll see if they can't get things started with the power play. Like I said, it has been a bit of a sloppy start for both teams. We'll see if the power play can set things straight.
Laine knocked it down at the blue line. Lane Hudson will get it across. Caulfield being watched by Samerson. Slides it back for Hudson. Lane Hudson for Nick Suzuki. Down to Slavkovsky, waiting with it. Back across the crease. And great chance for Caulfield side of the net, and the Sabres clear it.
Well, one way you won't let him score. McLeod just stood beside him the whole time. They're like, yeah, you got us 3 times the last time you played. We're not letting you have those one-timers.
Hudson drops it back. Nick Suzuki follows up. He'll move it over to Caulfield. Chipped off the boards. Broken up by Melanstein, and he'll get it down the ice again. Kovic sets it up. Hudson. Carry it up. Gave it back for Nick Suzuki. Suzuki over the line for Patrick Laine. Drop it off of the board. Slavkovsky. Quick pass over to Caulfield. Caulfield moves in. Suzuki up high for Lane Hudson. Hudson to Nick Suzuki. Waiting, shoots. Luukkonen the save, and he'll cover it up.
Well, Suzuki's going to end up taking this chance. I think I would have liked to have seen Slavkovsky not go behind the net and come out the other side, but step back out in front as this puck comes. You see him move around the back of the net. I don't think there's going to be a rebound there. You want to come out and search a rebound out right in front of him, and it's an easy freeze there for Luukkonen. I mean, he's a big body, and I get he thinks maybe the rebound pops out to the right side of Luukkonen, and maybe he's got a wide open net there. But I'd like to see him come back out in front and be a little more of a distraction with Luukkonen there.
Newhook out there for the draw against Krebs. Sabres get it. They'll clear it down the ice. Kovic sets it up. Matheson has got it. Matheson drops it back. Newhook follows up through center. Matheson hands it off. Heineman to Matheson. Throws it towards the net. Hits a body in front. Heineman's got it back. Matheson to Armia right in front. Newhook. Oh, a great chance for Heineman. He knew he had a glorious opportunity. Banks his stick on the ice afterwards. Matheson played across for Armia. Armia has a look around. 4 seconds to go in the power play. Armia hands it off for Newhook. Back to Armia. Playing it across. Throwing it in front. Gallagher banging at it. Looking in the save. And the Sabres get it and carry it. Here comes Thompson down the wing. Shoots right on. And Kovic will squeeze it and hold on.
Well, a really good shot of a chance on the power play for Heineman, and he's really mad at himself how he missed this thing. It was set up wonderfully. Newhook slides it into the wheelhouse for Heineman, and Luukkonen's coming over trying to get that glove up, but there was place for it, and then Gallagher, of course, right in front like he likes to hang out there. Couldn't get a handle on the rebound, and then Tage Thompson's going to pick this up and come right down the ice. And Dobich with a nice save as he comes out again. Very aggressive out on top of the blue paint.
Jake Evans will slide it over to Anderson. He'll ring it into the Buffalo zone. Evans trying to pick it up on the boards. Carrier slaps it towards the net. Blocked. And Buffalo gets it up ice as Ryan McLeod is on it. Checked by Struble. Puck going towards the net. Bounces just beside Kovic. He was trying to find it. It was up in the air and landed beside him as Anderson will clear it away. Darlene put it up the middle. Picked off by the Dvorak. Paterka will slide it over to Owen Powell. Anderson tries to jam it up on the boards. Creates the turnover. Jake Evans. Let the pass from Dvorak go off his skate. Paterka will give it back into his own end, and Darlene will hand it off to the Sabres regroup. Rasmus Dahlin plays it up ahead for Tuck. Alex Tuck down the wing, trying to slide his way by the defense of Robert Jacki. That doesn't work, but he got it down low. That allows Greenway to skate out with it and have a look around. All the way at the point, he'll send it across, and Bryson gets it back onto the boards. Centering pass by Cousins doesn't get through. He gets it back and throws it off into the corner. Bryson got it around. They jam outside of the net, and Greenway can't tuck it in. He's back on it again, though. Greenway shot block quickly snapped on net by Bryson, and Dolis kicks it aside. Byram racing after it. Bumped by Caulfield. Puck comes free in front. Canadians are on it, and Savard will clear it to center. Trying to get a change in. Back the other way comes Jack Quinn. His shot's deflected, and it goes over the glass and out of play as Jordan Greenway had a great little chance for Buffalo as he tries the wraparound but can't tuck it in as nobody's on the board in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada.
Of ice time so far in the first period here in Buffalo. Significantly more ice time than he saw in the third period against the San Jose Sharks on Thursday night. Played just 3 seconds, and he was asked about it. He said, we're chasing something special here. If one guy is off, he's going to have to sit and watch. Unfortunately, that was me. The last game, it's just one game. I'm fine. Marty St. Louis said it wasn't an intentional benching. It just happened to be the situation where Arbor had to sit a few shifts out, guys.
That's nothing. I mean, every player goes through that. I mean, in your career at some point where your game just isn't on, and you can't play every single game at the top level. Some games you got to try to manage games where you don't feel the greatest, and sometimes coaches, they cut your ice. It happens. You just got to get over it.
Loose puck in front as Gallagher came flying in and tried to jam it home once again. Brendan Gallagher loves scoring in Buffalo. He's got 14 goals in this city. He's had 2 great chances here in the first period tonight as he's hanging around the blue line looking for the puck here. Oh, and he goes after Darlene and got the worst of it, but still took the hit, made the play. Dvorak shoots, and Luukkonen will knock it down. Byram off the boards as Yuri Kulik tries to get it out. Struble over to Hudson. Hudson will stop and back up with it. Matheson will take his time with it here. Canadians all loop back and get set for the breakout. Matheson up through center. He missed line A. That'll be an icing call.
Well, Gallagher is physical always in the mix. He's going to chase down Darlene. He gets a scoring chance first here. He's going to be hanging around the front. Like I mentioned earlier, he's always hanging around the slot, hanging around the goalies. Darlene loses track of the puck, and when he looks down for it, Gallagher takes a run at him. Unfortunately, number 11 got the worst of it.
Warning on the draw for Beck. And up against Ryan McLeod. New hook gets centered, tried to tip it across. Paterka brought it in. That's an offside against the Sabres.
Who knows local rivalries better than Canada's homegrown sportsbook? Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook.
Well, with the surgery to Kirby Dach, Owen Beck gets an opportunity to step in, play in the top 6, and see what he can do. Got a goal the other night. And the Montreal Canadiens on a winning streak here, hoping to keep it going, because they're going to need to keep it going if they want to hang around those playoff wildcard spots. I'm sure if you asked Montreal Canadian management before the season started if they could be playing in important games in March and April, they would be thrilled, and they're in the hunt right now.
Nice touch for Owen Beck to get in on that goal for his first NHL point. An assist. Looking for more big things as he's 13 goals and 32 points in allowed this season. Here comes Heineman with a shot. That's off the stick and over the glass and out of play.
Well, Heineman's kind of been all over this first period. He took that hard jolt at center ice when Mallenstein ran over him. He had the kind of one-timer that Newhook set him up for that he misfired on, and right there, another opportunity. He's had a real solid year for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm not sure quite what the expectations were for Heineman coming in, but I bet you he's surpassed those, and he's really shown well for himself.
Canadiens' win percentage as a team is much better with him in the lineup than without. They were 5-8-1 in the 14 games that he missed there recently.
Hit so hard there that the 1 came off the top of his helmet. There's just a 5 left.
Bouncing puck in center. Struble kicks it ahead. Mallenstein will try to chip it in the zone. Now it's grabbed by Dahlin. Centering pass in short. Can't connect with Krebs. Newhook will play it off the boards, and Beck will help it down the ice. Krebs for Byron. Hit on the forecheck by Owen Beck as Lane Hudson will use the bounce pass to get it up to Laine. Back for Beck, sends it across, and a one-time shot by Newhook is blocked. Newhook to the point for Hudson. Lane Hudson hands it off. Laine for Struble, tipped it wide. Struble to Newhook. Canadiens buzzing a bit. Newhook snaps it towards the net. That missed. It's off the glass and down the ice. Quickly grabbed by Hudson. And he'll play it back into the Sabres zone, and Luukkonen is going to scoop it up and decides he'll hold on and get the breather.
Well, good pressure by the Montreal Canadiens. They get in the zone and they get set up. Buffalo kind of in disarray a little bit, and then it's a missed shot at the net that comes out of the zone that gives Buffalo a break, and that's why I think Luukkonen froze that puck. The line change was still kind of commencing, so he's like, I'm just going to shut this down and take a face-off.
Power will send it around for Bryson. That will make it out at center. Carrier will turn and lift it back in. That's into the netting, though.
And you wonder what it looks like. What kind of run does Montreal have to get on to get themselves in the playoffs? And it always sounds like a lot, right? Because you got to figure it's going to be 90 to 92 points to get in that wild card spot. It's not going to be as high as it has been in the past, but it's going to be somewhere around 90, 92. And to get there, you're looking at kind of like 15, 7, and 1 kind of thing. And that's a healthy run to get in. So it's not going to be easy.
This was a big lead coming out of the break to try and take advantage of the opportunity. Tage Thompson plays it up through center. That's deflected down the ice. Carrier goes after it. Owen Power will chase it down his own end. Caulfield goes right after him. Chipped off the boards by Ryan McLeod. Thompson got it ahead. Snap towards it by Peterka, and it's over the goal. There's Slavkovsky. Roll it around for Matheson. Jumped over his stick. Suzuki hustles after it. Played in front of the Canadiens net, and Matheson will take it away. Harbour Jack guy will settle it down and wait. That's the Canadiens finish the change. Savard lifts it up ahead for Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher dodged the check of Tuck. Got it down for Dvorak. Centered in front. Chip towards it. Anderson going after it. Josh Anderson trying to make a play with it. Comes up the wing. Gallagher back down to Anderson in the corner. Checked by Samuelson. Dvorak dropped it. Comes to the point. Savard trying to get it down low for Dvorak. It's off the stick of Tuck over the glass and out of play. J.J. Peterka on a 2-game goal streak, trying to make it 3, but can't beat them.
Well, there's only one gear that Brendan Gallagher plays in, and that's the all-out one. And you just know that every single game that he's in, he's going to be hanging around the front of the net. He's going to be battling with a couple of guys, head down, just grinding in there. And that's exactly the way he plays. And he gives hits, he takes hits, he gets right back up and keeps on going. He certainly is an inspiration to his teammates. And as a broadcaster, he never lets you down. You know he's going to wind it up at some point in an evening, and pretty good first period for him.
Here's Struble, throws it on net. Luukkonen is there to make the stop. Canadians out shooting Buffalo at a 2-1 margin.
Well, Hudson's going to get this puck, and as he walks across, I think his first thought is, I'm going to fire this thing as he steps in, but he has no one in front, so he's trying to buy a little time. He knows if he shoots it from there, it's an easy save for Luukkonen, so he figures I'll hand it over to Struble, and by then maybe we'll get some action at the net. Unfortunately, there was nobody there.
Byram on the puck around the boards. Blocked by Hudson, hands it off. Caulfield with a drive, and Byram blocked it. Greenway up ahead for Tuck. He's got it, and he'll send it into the Canadian zone. Comes loose right in front. Oh, and a chance for Cousins, and he put it right off the post. Sabres lead the NHL in hitting the post this year. That's the 94th time they've caught either the post or crossbar. Battle for on the board. Slavkovsky was there, but it's down low for Greenway. He centers it in front. Slavkovsky takes it away. He's knocked over by Tuck. Cousins trying to get to it. Comes back free. Byram's got it. Slides it across. Sabres trying to keep the heat on. Greenway was waiting for it. Struble broke it up. And Jaden Struble will lift it in the Buffalo zone, and the Canadians get a change.
Well, another thing they lead the league in, Bartz, is their goal differential in the first period. A +23 for the Sabres in the first period. It has been a dynamic period for them. Just holding them at 0-0 right here from Montreal on the road is pretty good.
Yeah, 68 first period goals to get that goal differential up. Actually have a 12.9 shooting percentage in the first period, which leads the league as well. Ryan McLeod will hand it off up through center. Comes Tage Thompson. Snaps it towards the net. Off the stick of Matheson and over the goal as Heineman will bring it back up ice. Knocked away from Armia. Heineman trying to catch up to it. Goes right after Owen Power. Ryan McLeod will hand it off, and Tage Thompson got it up onto the wing. Ballantyne throws it through the crease. Comes back over to Krebs. He overskates it. Ballantyne tries to find it. Krebs will get it. Owen Beck plays it back off the leg of Jack into the corner. Now it comes free for Newhook. Can't get it by Connor Clifton. Clifton centered in front. Chance on the backhand, and it just slides through as Jack Quinn trying to get it to the goal. Clifton has got it. Clifton fans on it. Lays it back down low. That one skips in front. Jack Eyes there. Put it off the foot of Laine. Savard tangled up in the corner with Krebs. Quinn trying to break free. Down goes Newhook. Canadians on it as Laine will lift it out to center. Clifton laid it back. Now Krebs in on the attack. Dropped it off, and a drive by Clifton. Stopped. Loose puck in front. Dobish gets across to cover it up.
Well, good job by Dobish to shut that down. What I love about Lane Hutson is obviously his quickness. And the winger's thinking, I'll just wait for a Greenwell, just wait for it to come on the boards. No. Hutson cuts in front of him and says, hey, I'm just going to step in front. And a nice little shovel pass to Caulfield. And then a near miss at the other end. Cousins comes in and cranks it off the iron on the short side. Buffalo continuing to try to get pucks toward Dobish and get some bodies in there. Montreal doing a nice job of boxing out and giving the youngsters some room to clear and freeze pucks.
Puts it off the glass, up to the line, and Anderson will force it out. Here's Dennis Gilbert, Buffalo native, will play it across for Benson, right back to Gilbert. Dobish waiting for it, took a swing at it with his stick, and Matheson goes after it. Alex Tuck comes in to help out. He's worked over on the boards by Josh Anderson. Anderson continually working over. Now it's free in front. Oh, a great chance for Kulik. Denied by Dobish. And a penalty coming up to Montreal. Chance for Dahlin with a shot. Dobish to save, and he reaches back to cover it up and hold on. And now things are going to boil over a little here. Game was waiting for a bit of a spark, and we see one now.
Well, a bit of a bee in the bonnet for Anderson, who was really given the business to Tuck in the corner. Little cross checks, not enough to take a penalty, but really on top of Tuck. And then all of a sudden, that puck came out, and Kulik was just right in front of the net. I mean, Montreal had plenty of guys that were there. And you'll see, look at the sweaters for Montreal for them. And that's a grade A quality chance for Kulik. And then, of course, Carrier takes the penalty on Dahlin. And then all the shenanigans as this one comes to the net. And I'm not sure if that thing never really gets through, if it hits Matheson, who's on the other side, and Carrier. And Dobish is just trying to find it to freeze it. And then Anderson not happy that Benson is laying on top of his goaltender. A minute and 32 left in the period. Buffalo will have an opportunity here to strike and head in with a lead. Dobish, who, like you said earlier, I mean, got off to such an incredible start, undefeated in 5, and then in his last few, certainly he'd like to be as good as he was in the first 5, and tonight I think he's looked pretty sharp.
Thompson will be tossed from the draw against Dvorak. Alex Tuck in to take it. Pushed free, Dahlin has got it. Dahlin sends it over for Turka in front, and it's chipped out of play with Thompson trying to get the chance in the slot.
Well, nice adjustment. On the penalty kill, that bumper guy could move down low, could move up high, could move left, could move right, and Suzuki has got to keep track of him. And right here does a nice job of converging on him. Him and Dvorak, just kind of both of them making sure he doesn't get time to unload.
Dvorak throwing out. Nick Suzuki will come in to take it against Tage Thompson. Puck comes loose, back for the Sabres. Dahlin with a shot. That one's off the post as well, I think, and out of play. Certainly sounded like it.
Well, you could hear it up here. It clanked on the inside, I believe, and I don't know if Dobish just doesn't see this as it comes through about 3 guys, and I can't even see the goalie in between those 3 guys, so there's no way he sees the puck. His reaction is after the puck actually clanks off the bar.
That's 95 posts for the Sabres this season. Here's Tuck. Feeding it back for Dahlin. Missed it, lost his edge and fell. But Buffalo regroups. Thompson. 1 minute off onto the wing now. Goes to cut the camera. Matheson onto the boards. Sent to the line. Dahlin feeds it across for Quinn. Jack Quinn walks in. Shot stopped by Dobish. Rebound. Quinn going after it. But it's knocked away down the ice by Anderson. Lukanen will move it up quickly. Paterka gets to the line, dropped it off for Thompson, and Armia was right in his way. Dahlin now will bring it in, offside called against Buffalo.
A good penalty killing unit can really use the blue line as their, as their friend, and that means when one guy crosses over with the puck, if you can keep the gap tight, if he drops it to somebody else, there's going to be no time. And Montreal and Yoel Armia does a great job as they cross over the line. Armia's right there to pounce on the Sabres with the puck, and they just never even get it back in the zone. And that's using the blue line to your advantage.
Luukkonen out of the net, sets it up for Owen Power. He'll work his way up to the blue line and drop it back as Cousins follows up. Got it across on the wing. Byram with it. Back to the point. There's Kulik. Kulik feeds it across for Power. Back for Kulik. 6 seconds to go. Kulik had to go off his stick. Fans getting impatient. Snap towards the net. Goes to save. Rebound, and he's got it under his glove as the horn goes to end the period with Evans getting into a shoving match in front of the net. Cooler heads prevail with 28 seconds left of the power play. And that'll carry over into the second period. Ron on the panel coming up in our first intermission with To The Point. Shots 9-7 in favor of Montreal in the opening period. But the goaltenders perfect so far in this one in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada.
Watch This Goal to Go on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network.
1st of March, Saturday night, Hockey Night in Canada, presented by Rogers. Let's go into the war room. See who's in it.
Oh, it's Elliot sitting with all of his friends.
Oh, we haven't seen too much of him tonight.
Trade deadline, of course, is Friday, and we'll have coast-to-coast coverage. You'll all be part of that. And there's Elliot. He'll be along with the headlines in the second interview.
Who's he talking to? He's talking to somebody.
Always.
All day.
Not us.
I wanted to have my dinner in there. The door was locked and closed.
No chance.
No one's going in.
Force your way in.
March, it comes in like a lion, out like a lamb, or the other way around. It's coming in like a lion, and that lion, the species copycat.
Yeah, and this all happens simultaneously. 3 games, 3 scrums, fights. I mean, it's a copycat league. What just happened? All these players were tuned into the Four Nations. All these players saw the passion that both teams play with. Brady Tkachuk in the middle of that, 3 fights, 9 seconds. Everybody wants to continue that on and play with that same passion. You know, these points are important, Luke, right now. Like, these are, they're the dog days of the season, but this is what gets you into the playoff race, right? You're seeing it in all 3 games spill over.
It's gut check time for all these teams. These points mean a lot. Love to see the energy. Love to see the emotion. Man, Stanley's so big. He shouldn't be falling down that easy. Got to get to Winnipeg. Yeah, he's such a big guy. Just get your stance a little lower.
He's not a good fighter, though. He's just big.
I got to get out to
He
Winnipeg.
needs you to
give him some
teach him.
tips. Yeah.
All right, 4 games. Steve Hatzapetros, NHL schedule maker. Thank you for tonight. Let's go to the Winnipeg game, Jen. You.
Well, let's go. And I think for Winnipeg, they started a bit slowly, but picked up the pace towards the later part of the first period. So let's look at Scheifele, now with 34 goals on the season, tied for second in the league. And here are a couple things to pay attention with his goal scoring. We talked about this in the pregame. This is also a nice shift by Kyle Connor, who was great in the first. He makes about 3 evasive moves. But if you watch Scheifele, there's one break that he spins away from pressure, constantly readjusting to make sure that he can be an option for the puck carrier. I love the subtle movement. He just pauses a little bit with his right edge to make sure he has just enough space away from the defender to get the shot off. And if you watch this closer angle, hands away from the body and not a big backswing, just really quick away from his body. And it doesn't take much. It's just a nice, quick wrist movement. And now 18 of his 34 goals have been scored on that high blocker side. Just very intelligent to find the space and so quick with those movements to score.
You showed him in the pregame show, everything right there, Jen, and we talked a lot about Draisaitl in the pregame show.
Well, in Raleigh, he is one guy that is not happy about this team losing 5 in a row and the streak that they've been on. And he had an eventful first period, all over it on both sides of the puck. Starts right on his first shift. He wins a battle down low, works up ice, and he draws this hold from Orlov, keeping the feet moving. You love to see that. The power play didn't score. But here we move on to him tracking all the way back, 180 feet, breaks up a 2-on-1. And then he's going to stick a little high here on Aho. Yep, that's a penalty. He didn't love something Aho did off the draw here. And this is after that unsuccessful first power play attempt. Him and coach Glenn Gulletson, it's kind of a one-sided argument, but Glenn was my first pro coach. Saskatchewan guy, he's old school. He can handle that. Personally, I love to see that emotion from guys. You'd rather have to temper that emotion than have to wake a guy up, right? And that's Leon. From the start of this first period, he's going.
Well, the thing, we call him Gully, Glenn Gulletson. I also had him as a coach. He encourages that. He wants that. And for people watching, that's a healthy dynamic between a star player and a coach. It's respectful, but you see Gully's body language there. He's poking him, he's listening to him, he's letting him vent, but he's sitting there calmly because he knows Leon plays better when he's playing with that fire. 100%. But he needs little reminders, little tips here, like, hey, I don't like that penalty. But he'll take a little bit. Not too much, but he'll take a little bit just because he knows that Leon's a better player that way.
Listening to Millsy, we call him, Greg Millen on the Calgary show today. They lost 3-0 for the second time in a row down in Florida. He said next game they've got to get a goal, got to score first. And Ottawa this year is 22-5-0 when they score first, 7-0 when they get a shorthanded goal. So it was a huge goal, Kevin, part of their game.
So Nolan Baumgartner, Bomber, we call him, Ron. He's in charge of the penalty kill, and there's a pre-scout before every game, and there's a strategy. Obviously, there's Celebrini on San Jose, and there's some weapons there. So the pre-scout right here for me is pretty evident. Right here, it's give this down low play to Allmark. And you can see right now, backdoor taken away, tons of sticks helping out in the slot right here. Let's let the goalie see this. If they want to attack down low, go nuts. Try to beat Ullmark that way. So you can see Toffoli's kind of like, oh my God, like go ahead. Do I have all this time? What do I do? I kind of take it in. Doesn't even attempt a shot. He goes back. When it comes to him again, it's the same thing. Stop it here. Everyone in the slot is again. So now they feel like you're saying, like, oh, we got to force something in the middle. Like we're not getting our, and then boom, turnover. Here goes Ottawa. Pinto back in the lineup. They missed him. The beautiful finish, but really good penalty kill. Making a team uncomfortable. The power play has kind of their looks that they want. They obviously want to attack from the flanks and up high. Give them down low. They don't take it. They force something. You counter. Back of the net. 1-0. C'est la vie.
Told you in the pre he was going to help that PK.
Yeah.
I speak French, by the way.
You did. That was a good pregame show, finally. Hi, Rudes. That's Kelly Rudy. We call him Rudes. Rico, we call him. Adam Henrique. We're on a bit of a roll here, but he had a shorthanded goal. So was it Kyle Connor almost broke away shorthanded?
Breakaway, yes.
Cons.
Nice chance.
Connie.
Connie.
KC,
Yeah,
actually.
and Connie Brown could have had one for Edmonton. So lastly, the Buffalo-Montreal tilt.
Yeah, the Buffalo-Montreal. So Jack, I had a quote there they were talking about, and they're saying, he's like, I'm on board for this, but the way it is, if somebody's not going, someone's got to sit. And that was Jack last game. He didn't play in the third period. So you see him tonight. How does he respond after being kind of mini bench? Simple plays, that's what they need out of him, to move the puck and then to defend. This is Tage Thompson. Boom, big hit. You don't think that's a big hit? Tage Thompson's like 6 foot 1,000, so that is a big hit. Watch him one-on-one against Tuck. Elliott's sniffing around behind me right now. Sorry if I lost track of my thought. Again, really good stick in front of the net, and then the physicality, Jack but watch. Krebs gets up in a little shot there. Discipline. Don't need to retaliate. Doing my job. Listening to Robitaille, who played in the NHL forever. Good start for Jack. What's up, bro?
Seth Jones has just been traded to the Florida Panthers. Wow. So that's what's up.
So you think we're going back to Florida this year for the finals? Is that what you're saying?
It's a little too. Let's see what happens by Friday.
Go on about it, Elliot. Oh, we got 15 seconds, but do you have the whole trade or just that part of it?
Actually, let me not say I think. I'm pretty sure, but it's Spencer Knight going to Florida.
It's good to see you.
Live on air.
Wow.
My first
You did
live.
say on 32 Thoughts the Bill Zito connection, right? Seth Jones. So, yeah. Good. Thank you, Elliot. Lots more to come on the Saturday headlines in our second intermission. Thanks to Frege, Potts, Gazzy, and KB3. To the point. Canada's homegrown sportsbook, where betting local has never mattered more. At the Horseshoe or the Shoe, Ohio State. We've got the big outdoor stadium series game between Detroit and Columbus. The Wings honoring the Gaudreaus with that beautiful gesture. And we can tell you that the score is now 2-1 Columbus. Alex DeBrincat got his 28th of the season. That's a goal by Denton Mateychuk. That's his 3rd of the season. Here's DeBrincat's. He's been unreal in first periods for Detroit all year. So did we see the go-ahead goal, Brian? Voronkov, there it is, on the doorstep. He scores on the big ice, and that's where they stand, the Blue Jackets up a goal. Line change presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Bet local. Back to the game you're enjoying on Hockey Night in Canada after the break.
Partner and fan of the NHL. An even first period between the Sabres and the Habs. 9 shots apiece, but no goals to speak of, which means no goal celebrations. But if and when you get the chance to celebrate a goal, especially an overtime winner as pretty as Cole Caulfield's on Thursday night, you have to have a special celebration. Caulfield had exactly that, tossing his stick into the home crowd. Now that was a tribute celebration to Trevor Zegras, who scored an overtime winner back in November of 2021. He tossed his stick into the crowd, which is actually a tribute of Jack Hughes, who back in October of 2021 also scored an overtime winner and started the trend of tossing his stick into the crowd. This celebration comes with a rule, though. You have to be a young American superstar who grew up in the U.S. National Development Program. The 3 are great friends living their best lives. Now this next picture is a great one. On draft night, all wearing each other's jerseys, decided to wear them backwards. Yes, great friends, great celebrations, and hopefully we have a great second period in store for you tonight, guys.
That overtime game winner was Caulfield's 28th of the season, tied his career high, and was his 8th career overtime game-winning goal, 3rd most in Canadians' history. For overtime winners, that one goes off the glass and out of play. It's kind of like the bat toss there. Off it goes.
It's almost like when this group of young guys came in all together, that goal celebrations kind of just took off. And at the All-Star game, I remember Zegras with all the fancy stuff that they set up, the views, and entertaining for the fans, and see the excitement when you score goals. I mean, scoring goals, and these guys just love doing it.
Here's Dahlin, turned it over. Savard's there, and he'll backhand it down the ice with 10 seconds to go on the power play.
He's got over close to 900 goals he's going to have by the time he leaves this game, and it looks like he scores his first goal every time he scores. He's so excited.
that one is in the net. Or is it? No, that went off the glove, off the crossbar, and bounced along the goal line. And we're going to have another look at this one to see how close this was to crossing the line and going in.
Well, this didn't look like much. I don't know if it goes off Savard or not, but it hits the inside post and then goes off the back skate of Dobis. It hits the glove, then the post, and then gets in back behind him. And I don't know if he thought maybe it was in his glove. And I'm not sure if it went off Savard as he was shooting it either, but definitely Dobis' glove, then the inside post. And then very fortunate that that thing sat underneath him.
It took the right bounce.
Yes, it did.
It had the right
little
English on it.
spin on
A little
it, yeah.
spin, yeah. Third post of the night for Buffalo. They might be hitting the 100 post mark of the season already. 96 now. And a penalty coming up here. And this will go against Bowen Byram.
Well, Byram just is in a battle with Caulfield, and he kind of bangs on his stick to kind of keep it away from getting control of the puck.
Buffalo number 4, 2 for slashing.
Caulfield loses his stick on the ice, and you're going to see it right here. He just kind of bangs down at his stick. And one person might say, hold on to your stick tighter. You know, if that's all it takes to knock your stick out of your hand. And nonetheless, we see that called more than not. And the Canadians back on the power play.
Picked up by the Sabres off the draw. Samuelson will clear it down the ice. Kovic sets it up. Hudson has got it. Here comes Lane Hudson. Dropped it back. Nick Suzuki follows up. Suzuki to Caulfield. Played it over to Hudson. Lost it at the line. And now Jordan Greenway breaking it, trying to slide it up for McLeod. And McLeod wanted to get it back for Greenway. That was broken up by Hudson. And now it's Line across goes Cole Caulfield. A career high 29th goal of the season, and it's 1-0 Montreal.
It kind of looked like it was going to be a disaster for Montreal. Hudson has a bit of a bobble at the blue line, and Greenway is going to steal this puck right here. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a really good shorthanded attempt. And then Hudson comes in, turns it back over, and gets it up the ice quickly. The transition is perfect. Line turns around. I think he's surprised to see Caulfield, who's sitting right there in a one-timer position. He waits and waits and waits for Samuelson's stick just to move slightly to its left, and then he slides it over for the one-timer, and the Montreal Canadiens power play goal take the lead 1-0 here in the second period.
That's Caulfield's 20th goal on the road this year, as he's now become the first Canadian player with 20 road goals in a season since Thomas Plekanec had 21 back in 2007-2008.
Oh, how about the break? The puck just hit the post off Dobis' glove too, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that could have gone the other way, and Montreal has the lead.
Hudson will clear it out. Power knocks it down. Lane Hudson trying to clear it out, or is jammed up along the boards by Beck Malenstein, and the play is blowing down.
Well, coaches used to say it takes a special player to come and score goals on the road. You know, some guys play always really good at home and score at home, but not so much on the road. Well, Caulfield is kind of the reversal. He's got 20 goals on the road. You love guys who come to play on the road. The road wins are so important. You got to have a good road record to get yourself in the playoffs. Canadians are sitting just under 500. But Caulfield certainly on the road has given them opportunities to win games.
Extends his point streak to 4 games as well. His 3rd goal and 5th point. Canadians on the board first. Greenway lifted out at center. It's stopped by Jackeye, fed back to Carrier, off for Anderson, and he'll backhand it in. That looks tough. We'll work it up to center. Dumps it in. Greenway sends it back around behind the net. Dennis Gilbert goes after it. Gilbert lays it off for Greenway. Caught up in the corner by Anderson. Arbor Jackeye looks to move it, but it's Kulik that will pick it off for Buffalo. Kulik got it to the line. Byram throws it towards the net. Comes free. Samuelson has got it. Checked by Gallagher. Malik fires it towards the net. Free in front. Greenway couldn't get his stick on it. Now pulled out by the Sabres as Jack Quinn tried to go to the goal. Couldn't get a shot in. Arbor Jacki will skate it out for Montreal. And he was on the wrong side of the red line to dump that in. It will be icing.
So important. Just one more half a step and you get a line change. And now the Canadians got some pretty tired guys that are on the ice. Anderson, Dvorak, both leaning onto their sticks, trying to get oxygen into their lungs. And certainly Carrier and Jacki have been out there for a while as well. So an opportunity for Lindy Ruff to load up here, knowing he's got some tired Canadians. The line A tried to sneak on for Gallagher, and the referees have made that adjustment. Gallagher now cruising into the circle.
Gallagher has been out for a minute 15 along with all his line mates as Peterka will send it across for Byram. Tries to slide himself by Anderson. Anderson works over Byram in the corner. McLeod up for the puck. Goes right back into that jam up in the corner here. Now it comes free as McLeod will pull it off the boards. Got it to the point. Dahlin waiting, shoots. Dobish the save as he saw it all the way.
Well, an easy save for Dobish, and what this does is it just gets a line change for his guys, and he knows it. You do not want to spin on a rebound or keep this puck alive in any way. You know your guys are tired. And in a way, I think Dahlin should have maybe not shot that puck. He should have waited because you know they're dead tired. You know, draw the shift out a bit longer and wear them down even more. That's an easy shot to the net for Dobish to stop and get his team a full line change.
Fresh bodies out on the ice as Sabres won the draw. Tuck got it back to the point. Snapped on net by Power, and Dobish again will make the stop.
Well, certainly for the Buffalo Sabres, I think a second period where I think they realized in the first period it was just a bit sloppy. Too many pucks they gave away, passes that weren't tape to tape. They need to have a much better second period, one where they get more rhythm in their game, more pace. A lot of whistles, a lot of slowing the game down right now.
Carrier tag teamed at center, and it's brought back in by the Sabres as Tuck drops it back, but Lions on the stick of Cole Caulfield. Kwiatkowski winds his way through center, fell down as Tuck was there, and Cousins will loop back inside his own line with it. Laid it up for Tuck off his stick and into the Canadian zone as Matheson has got it. Hands it off for Carrier, back to Matheson. Mike Matheson weaves his way up to center. Matheson played almost 27.5 minutes Thursday against San Jose. 32nd time this year he's had over 25 minutes in a game. Newhook throws it towards the net. Slafkovsky in front with a chance. Put it off the skate, couldn't get it home. Power out to center for Quinn. Flipped it up for Malenstein. Krebs going to the net. Can't catch up to the pass. Peyton Krebs has Patrick Laine on him. Malenstein falls back in the net. Krebs after the puck. Watched by Newhook. Tried to play it in front. Struble broke it up. Now worked around by Quinn. Sent it from the net. Tipped on goal. Dobish the same. Look out. Here we go again with some more pushing and shoving.
It's been a common thread in this game. Pucks to the net and a lot of action after the whistle. A lot of shenanigans going on. The referee at some point is going to start taking one guy only. Slafkovsky is sitting right on top of Luukkonen. This puck comes to the net. It hits Samuelson, and he just can't get enough of the puck as he turns around to the net. A bit of a misfire as it rolls off the toe of his stick, and then right here, Malenstein just deflects this thing, and this is going right 5-hole. And what they didn't like was Krebs coming in after and jamming at Dobish, and that's going to draw attention right away, and it did.
Out shooting the Canadians 12-10 now in the game as Matheson will clear it down the ice, and that one will be called for icing.
And again, we're seeing so many whistles. The game is not getting any pace at all. There's no rhythm. There's no pace. It's kind of herky-jerky, and a little chance here, a little chance there. It's not been a very clean game, and so it's really, like I said, it has no rhythm to it. One of these teams has got to start to execute better and really start to take over the hockey game, because it's up for the taking.
Here's Thompson with it. Lost it at the line, pressured by Jake Evans. It'll come to center. Peterka will play it over for Dahlin off his stick. And Heineman will force it in the Buffalo zone. Hiram up with it. Got it ahead, and Kulik will try to work his way down the wing. Kulik forced to the corner. Matheson up the boards. Byram there to stop it. Byram with a shot. That one is off a body front, hit Thompson. That one stung him a little, and now he lays out the body and keeps the play alive for Buffalo with Peterka on it. Centering pass in front, and they can't get it to go. The look out as Armia gets pulled over in front of the net. Evans comes up with the puck as Bryson can't make a play with it. Now Bryson after Evans in the corner. He's got it. Bryson got it up and scores. Alex Tuck rips it home. Buffalo ties it at 1.
Dig into the corners. You got to dig in for 50-50 pucks, and the Buffalo Sabres are winning the battles on this shift. This puck heads down to the corner, and I'm not sure. Evans tries to flip this with nowhere to go. It gets knocked down, and then he loses a battle out of the corner, and that allows him to come around the net, throw it out in front, and then bang, it's gone and in the net. What a great play coming around right there, and Tuck finding the nice spot on the ice, the soft place. And we're tied at 1.
Alex Tuck with a goal now in 3 straight games.
Well, Jacob Bryson, I mean, what a great play. Just heads up, win the battle, take the net, and get your head up, put it on the tape. And Alex Tuck did not miss.
22nd of the year, 6 goals in the last 6 games for Alex Tuck. He's tied it at 1 in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada.
Nice ones actually here. The Montreal Canadiens do a nice job of getting up the ice. Suzuki to line A, and he finds Caulfield on a one-timer, his 20th on the road, gets the scoring started, and then what a nice job by Jacob Bryson. He just steals this off of Evans, walks behind the net, and locates Alex Tuck, and he buries it. And here we are, 1-1.
Tuck jumped over the stick of Arbor Jacki, and then Ryan McLeod in on the attack lost the stick. He was pleading for a call, as Newhook will get it to center and bring it back into the Buffalo zone. Gilbert after it. Played it back in the net. Quinn goes after it. Watched by Owen Beck. And Quinn will clear it out. Now Beck jumps on it for the Canadiens. Owen Beck Down the wing, cuts in front, stops it up in, and it's into the glove of Vukovic.
Get the feeling that no matter what, you're taken care of with BetMGM. BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas.
Well, the puck turns over in the neutral zone, and Owen Beck's going to pick it up, and he gets his head up as he cuts in to take the shot. I'm not sure he sees Quinn at all. Like, he does pick his head up. He looks like he has a look, and then he goes to shoot it. And boy, you're vulnerable when you're leaning in to shoot like that. And he just got his head up in the last second there as Quinn was coming across trying to lower the boom on him.
Struble came into the line to try and get to that one. Anderson will play it deep. Gallagher is on it. Brendan Gallagher, checked by Dahlin. Owen Byram will clear it out at center, and Struble knocks it down to play it ahead as Dvorak goes after it, poked away by Dahlin. Lane Hudson backs up with it, feeds the pass ahead for Anderson, and he'll send it in. Byram, pressured by Gallagher. Now brought up ice. Here comes Thompson with it. Hands it off for Turka. Drops it back for Dahlin. Sends it across. Scores! Yuri Kulik. And Buffalo takes the lead. It's 2-1.
Well, I said if one team can find some pace and some rhythm, this game is up for grabs, 100%. Buffalo right from their own corner. You're going to see Byram spin off in the corner right here, and he's patient. He doesn't just try to throw it away. He gets it up. You get Thompson with speed. He crosses the line. He drops it to Peterka. He drops it to Dahlin. And then who's wide open? I mean, wide open is Kulik on the other side. And similar to the Caulfield one-timer, there's not much Dobish can do about it. What a well set up play starting from their own end. Good breakout, good exit, good attack, good speed, and a nice play by Dahlin.
2 goals in a span of a minute and 29 seconds as Dobish has to dive back to it. Greenway nearly got to it. Alex Tuck on it in the corner. Little chip pass off the boards as Bryson got it in front, and Greenway tipped it over the net. Buffalo is buzzing right now as Caulfield will backhand it out to center, and the Sabres will curl back in their own zone with it as Samuelson will feed it out through center, and that's going to be called on a hand pass.
Well, I'm not quite sure if Dobish thought somebody was coming there to pick the puck up or not, but this one is going to come to him, and he goes out of his net and then ends up falling down and diving. He was, at one point, he was on his stomach flat out with the puck behind the net. And as Greenway in front trying to tip that one over him as well, but interesting for Dobish there. That was quite a carnival ride we were watching there.
Here's Savard with it.
Buffalo's second goal.
Playing it up through center, broken up. Carried back in now by Benson. Benson drops it off. Dahlin with a shot. That's deflected, and it ends up out of play.
Well, you can see the little pep in the step of the Buffalo Sabres now. They've got a couple of goals. They're starting to get some pace to their game. Their puck movement is looking much better, and they're getting more opportunity. And for the Montreal Canadiens, they've had a couple of times now, they've had some long shifts. They've been caught in their end, and there's some defensive zone breakdowns where some Sabres are wide open. You look at the Tuck goal, you look at the last goal that was just scored by Kulik, and these guys are wide open, so there's defensive issues in their zone.
Barber Jackeye chasing after it, trying to poke it up the board. Suzuki is there. He'll clear it out at center. Beck Mellenstein goes back to get it. Play for Byron, and he'll flip it out as Savard steps up on the play, knocked it down, sends it across for Armia. Armia tried to throw it back in front for Evans. Savard again hits it down low. Evans up the boards with it, dropped it off into the corner, picked up goal by McLeod, lost it. Armia to the net, backhand, trying to get it side of the goal for Nick Suzuki. Barber Jackeye over to Savard, played for Suzuki, centering pass in front off the stick of Byron. Jackeye tried to get it down behind the net. Dahlin is on it. He'll move it across for Byron. Break here, and coming right in was Ryan McLeod with a chance. He's stopped by Dobish.
Well, Byram does a nice job making everyone think he's going to dump the puck into the end, okay? And then he doesn't do that. And you look at McLeod here as he turns this one over, and Armia tries to get to Suzuki, and that doesn't happen. And then there's the play right there. I mean, we didn't show Byram, but Byram's coming up to the red line, and it's like he's going to dump it in, so the Canadians start to pivot towards the wall, and then the next thing you know, it's right up the middle to Ryan McLeod, and he walks right in. That's a big save by Dovis.
Dvorak takes a draw against Kulik. Matheson on the puck. And Matheson will carry it out of his own zone. And on ahead at center and dumps it in as Gallagher goes after it. Brendan Gallagher trying to work it around back to the net. Matheson playing it off. Dvorak got it across, and a drive by Carrier steered aside by Luukkonen. Didn't like the disturbance from Gallagher in front of the goal. Matheson jumps on the loose puck. Tries to get away from Kulik. Dumped it off back of the net. Connor Clifton there, and he'll play it in front as Luukkonen covers it up. Gallagher takes a swing at it, and again we're going to have another scrum.
Just seemed to be a lot of pucks that goalies are just freezing at the last moment, and guys are getting in, trying to get a last poke at it, right? You see it loose, so you go in to take that last poke, and of course that's going to draw attention, and guys don't like it when you're poking at their goaltender. And there's been no penalties off any of these skirmishes. You know, normally after 3 or 4 of them, referees will start to signal one guy and go, hey, I'm going to take one guy, okay? This is what's going to happen here. We got to stop these things. But the referees have let them go.
Howard's on the puck, got it up for Greenway. Jordan Greenway, Alex Tuck. Pass a little too far under the stick of Cousins. He'll try to track it down in the corner. Dylan Cousins. Chopping through the feet of Struble, who had it jammed up on the dasher boards. That goes off the leg of Cousins. Struble's got it again. He'll feed it back to the net for Hudson. Lane Hudson. Long pass up through center. That one gets away from Newhook and will be an icing call.
Well, it just seems to me like there's just something's not quite right with Montreal as far as their breakouts. I mean, right there is a simple play. It's a behind the net pass to Hudson. You blow the zone, the wingers, to try to back the Buffalo Sabres defense off the line, and then the pass is errant and it's icing, and I'm not sure if it hits something. They're going to face this off at center ice. I think they're feeling like this did clip off somebody as it was going by.
Yeah, it was a change. I think Chris Lee, the referee, had seen it, and he was blowing the play down and said, we'll take it back to center and call off the icing call as we're midway through the second in Buffalo. And Kulik has a go-ahead goal for the Sabres. It's 2-1 on Hockey Night in Canada.
Trade deadline's approaching, and Bowen Byram's name has been up. coming up, and I really like this kid. And there's, you know, he doesn't get an assist on this, and this starts so far back, but he makes such a great play exiting the zone and getting his team coming up the ice with nice rhythm, and then they do the rest, and ends up with a nice goal right there. And then look at this fake dump. The fake dump right into the middle of the ice to McLeod. And then the scoring chance there. He's made a couple of really nice plays in this game.
Struble has got it at center, and he'll dump it in. Suzuki goes after it on the boards. Laid it down for Slavkovsky. Got it back up high. Here's Struble with a chance. That shot just deflects wide. Suzuki around the board. Struble jumps on the puck. Gets it down back in the Caulfield in front. Suzuki with a chance. Luukkonen with a save, and the puck comes back to the line. Hudson tries to hold it in. A broken stick created the opportunity for the Canadians there, and then Peturko missed the pass. It's an icing call against Buffalo.
I believe it was Tage Thompson's stick. It kind of shattered on the shot from Struble, and he elected to go to the bench to get a stick. More players are starting to do that. They're just vacating the zone, but it left them on a 5-on-4, and that shot from Slavkovsky goes right off of Luukkonen and right onto the stick of Suzuki, who's trying to thread the needle between the goal line and Luukkonen's body, and Luukkonen does a nice job of coming over and making the save. That's a right-hand shot down low on that side. That's a tough one for Suzuki.
Carrier hands it out for Matheson. Trying to get that one through, was blocked. Sabres are on it. Peturko will get to center and flip it in. Matheson goes after it. Matheson will play it across for Carrier. They'll bring it in around the boards. Got away from Newhook. Krebs comes up with it. Played across for Samuelson, who deflects it out at center, and Jack Quinn is on it. Quinn, head for Krebs. He'll tip it in. Matheson on the play. The puck cleared off the glass, and that one ends up out of play.
Well, if you're Owen Beck and you're the guy that's down in the corner and you get the puck, there is nobody to give it to. You have to get it out of the zone from there, and this one goes over the glass. Therefore, no harm, no foul. The face-off will be to the right of Dobish, but he really has nobody to give it to, so he either has to flip it out over or play it hard enough off the glass that you get it out of the zone, because if you don't get it out, you're giving it right to the point of the blue line. It's coming right back at you.
Right off the draw, Greenway is able to snap it on net, and Dobish make the save.
You've got to be ready to jump off these faceoffs. It's so important that you're jumping at the same as your opponent. And right here, Armia comes in with Greenway, and he just wins the 50-50 puck battle, and that is a pretty good scoring chance off a faceoff right at your net.
Here's Tuck with it, drops it off for Owen Power, trying to go to the net. Can't get there though. Forced to the corner by Armia. Now tries to knife it up the boards. Cousins tries to shake off the check of Evans. Herbert Jackai gets in the way back in the net. Turned it over. Greenway off for Tuck with a shot. That got blocked. Power works it in the corner. Savard is there. Around for Jackai. He's knocked over and taken down by Jordan Greenway. Savard will clear the puck out. Greenway then bumps into Jackai, going back for his stick. Meanwhile, up ice, Heineman jumps on the loose puck. Heineman shoots. That one missed on the short side. And Heineman gets around the boards and got the puck back to send it into his own zone for Lane Hudson, who throws it up to center. Owen Power feeds it ahead for Quinn. He'll slide it into Montreal zone, and Hudson's on the puck. Chased around the net by McLeod. Dvorak will settle it down. Off to Gallagher. Can't jump by Zach Benson at center, and Buffalo brings it in. Benson got it across for McLeod, who couldn't get a clean shot on net. Quinn diving for the puck. Got Quinn. Trying to move that, and Hudson will skate it out. Here comes Lane Hudson. Hits the Sabres line. Hudson feeds it across. Scores! Josh Anderson! What a play on the setup from Dvorak. Tic-tac-toe. And the game is tied at 2.
And Anderson with the goal, but what a great play by Lane Hudson. And the one thing I like about this, he has the presence of mind to come from the left side of the ice and cut into the middle. And when you cut into the middle, you create options on both sides. See how he cuts in? And that gives him options on both sides. As he decides to go to the left side, it gets dropped back to Anderson, and it's in the back of the net. Dvorak just keeps driving. He could go left, he could go right, and that means that the defenseman has to make a decision. As soon as the right defenseman cuts in, boom, he goes right to Dvorak, and then back to Anderson, and Anderson got tons of net to look at. Really nice rush goal by the Montreal Canadiens.
And that assist by Lane Hudson will tie Tom Kurvers for second most by a rookie D in a season in Canadiens history. As Josh Anderson finishes it off, and we're tied at 2. Anderson's 10th of the year. He had 1 goal in the last 14 games. That was last Saturday against Ottawa. Crowd into it now here in Buffalo as well, as Nick Suzuki will play it down around the boards, and Matheson goes after it. Spins away from the check, but it's taken away, and Thompson will get it out. Dahlin tries to back his way into the Canadian zone. Rasmus Dahlin with it. Has Slavkovsky on him. Slavkovsky falls. Dahlin with a puck. Holding on. Pass across for Cousins. That eludes his stick. Cousins back to the point. Dahlin a drop. Tony Schmell over there. Made the save. Penalty coming up here, as Peterka was knocked down in front. Josh Anderson gets the goal for Montreal. We're tied at 2 in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada.
Well, Carey's in the box for high sticking, and we had a chance to really slow this down and have a good look at it during the break, and I believe it's his own stick that's going to hit him in the face right there. I think Carrier hits his stick, and that stick comes up and clips him in the face. And you'll see it better here. Carrier's stick never really hits him in the face. It's his own stick that comes up and gets him, and I think that's a missed call there, unfortunately.
There you can see Carrier saying it's his own stick.
And I think they're talking over at the bench right now about it. As the referee has made his way from Marty St. Louis, and now he's going over to talk to Lindy Ruff. But
so the Sabres will catch a break and get the power play here. Dvorak will step in for the draw against Tage Thompson. Second power play of the night for Buffalo. Finally dropped. Buffalo wins it. Dahlin has got it. Throws it towards the net. It goes wide. Here's Quinn back in the net. Dahlin sends it across for Peterka. Over to Dahlin. And that's going to be a penalty right there. There it is. You can't do that.
You are not allowed to move an opponent's stick out of the way from his reach, and the referee's arm went up right away. If it's a broken stick, you can move it.
Buffalo 77, 2 minutes interference.
This is an obvious call. Any ref knows that. Matheson's going to lose his stick, and when he loses it right here, it comes out of his hand. So now the stick is sitting on the ice, and then what happens is it Peterka that comes over? Peterka comes over and just swipes it away, and that's an interference call for sure, and that'll negate the penalty.
And you had to know after the high stick, you're going to have to be a little extra careful, and that'll do it. So we'll get a little 4-on-4 hockey here for 1 minute and 44 seconds.
You know, and you're on a power play, right? And if the stick lays in the way, it could be in your passing lane. So I do believe they'll allow you to move it sometimes, but I think that was really quick that he batted out of the way.
Now, a full swipe out of the zone is a little aggressive. Here's Cole Caulfield with it. Caulfield shoots, tipped in front. Suzuki bats at it, and Luukkonen is able to cover it up in the crease.
That's 2 or 3 chances that Nick Suzuki's had right around the net. He's trying to get a look at it at the Jumbotron to see what happened there. Caulfield's going to roll out to the top, and Suzuki gets lost down below. And I'm kind of concerned with Buffalo's coverage because this is 4-on-4. You allow Nick Suzuki to just get in behind you, and literally you're falling asleep on it, and he gets access to a tip. He gets access to the first rebound, which he did, and Luukkonen does a real good job of being able to smother that down. But again, the defensive zone coverage of 4-on-4 is you do not want to let a guy get in behind you at your net, especially a guy like Nick Suzuki.
Suzuki will be throwing out. So Cole Caulfield will step in for the face-off against Dylan Cousins. Suzuki along the boards. Sends it back to Lane Hudson. He'll back out at center with it. Hudson drops it off for Matheson. Leaves it for Nick Suzuki. Suzuki works his way up through center into the Sabres zone. Played it around the boards for Caulfield. And it comes back out to center. Lane Hudson will swoop back with it. Hudson got it over to Matheson. Dropped it off for Caulfield. Cole Caulfield holds on to the puck. Lane Hudson walking in with a shot. And it's stopped by Luukkonen.
On 2 occasions, Lane Hudson had to back off the blue line and take the puck back into the neutral zone, and Suzuki and Caulfield had to clear the zone and come back in. And then finally, this time around, it's Hudson who finds a spot right in the middle of the ice. He's never standing still. He's always moving, therefore he's hard to cover. And right here, he finds a soft spot between Tage Thompson and Power, and nice job by the Canadians to find him.
Lane Hudson tries to get around Kulik, and he'll curl back at the line with it. Dumped it down low as Newhook chipped it in the corner. Slafkovsky back to the point for Matheson. There was a hot pass, and it gets all the way down the ice, and Dobish is out of the net. Dobish will play it up the board. Slafkovsky back to Hudson. Carried up through center. Stops at the Buffalo blue line, and Hudson checks up, throws it on net. Luukkonen the save as Newhook was in front.
What a solid couple of shifts for Lane Hudson. I mean, his speed, he is so quick, and the presence of mind to push the puck a little farther along the blue line. He is dangling along this blue. Look at him push it ahead so the Sabre player couldn't reach in and get it. And then once he feels the player retrieve off him, he turns on a dime right to the net. He's got a player there. Real smart plays by the young defenseman. He has grown in leaps and bounds this year. I mean, he has been so impressive.
Armorcheka down for Suzuki, trying to get it in front, couldn't get it to Patrick Laine. Struble into the corner, picked up by Bryson, and the Sabres carried out. Bryson at center will backhand it in. Dobish stops it. He'll set it up for Nick Suzuki. Checked by Greenway. Armorcheka on the puck. Carrier's out of the box, so a very short power play here for Montreal. Patrick Laine works it into the Buffalo zone. Had it taken away. McLeod has got it. Sends it over to Power, stopped at center. Here comes Laine with Suzuki going to that. Laine shoots, and it's stopped by Luukkonen, who knocked it down with a glove right at the end of the power play.
Well, the Sabres guilty of just being really sloppy with the puck. Really poor management there. The pass across, Power lackadaisically cutting into the middle of the ice, gets stripped by Laine. Now, he does have Suzuki and Caulfield, but I think he does the right thing. I think right there, I think there's just no place to go through, so he might as well take the shot, and he's more than capable of sniping one from there. So full credit to Luukkonen making that save and keeping this a tie game.
Thompson with some instructions before the face-off here against Jake Evans. Scramble off the draw, comes back into the corner where Samuelsson will lift it out. Matheson up ahead for Heineman, knocked it in. Luukkonen's out of the net. Got it around the boards. Matheson comes flying in, trying to push it into the corner for Evans, who's bumped. It bounces free behind the net, and Samuelsson will take it. Laid on ahead for Cooley. Slides it across. Thompson can't make a play with it. Matheson was right on him. Carrier got it to the point and out, and Armia will jump on it. Armia slides it in the corner, goes after it himself. Heineman trying to play it back for him. Armia on the puck. Moves it around, and it gets taken to the ice by Connor Clifton on a good hit. Savard backs out at center, dumps it in. Connor Clifton put it off the glass. Dvorak tried to center in front for Gallagher, didn't get to his stick. And Anderson gets clipped. He's back to his feet after the hit from Cousins. Jovic moves the puck for Savard. Gives it back to Jack-Eye, off for Savard. And then Gilbert knocks down Dvorak. Anderson into the forecheck. This shift gets a little physical for both teams. Savard move it over to Arbor Jack-Eye, and he'll dump it in. Gallagher trying to play away from Gilbert. Greenway bumped by Dvorak. Greenway will send it back long, pass up ahead at center, and here comes Alex Tuck with it. Tuck tried the backhand, that one missed. Greenway goes after it. Tangled up by Struble. Tuck got it to the point. At the line, good stick there by Dahlin to hold it in. Struble takes the hit from Cousins. And Lane Hudson will lift it high in the air and get it out to center as Caulfield was looking for it. It bounced in front of the Byram is on it. Here in the final minute of the second. Cole Caulfield trying to catch up to that one. Slavkovsky knocks it down. Can't get it to the net. And Struble backs out at center with it. Lane Hudson off for Jaden Struble. He'll dump it back in. That one will rattle around the boards, back out at center, and allows Buffalo to come up ice. Benson with it, throws it on net, and Dovich will make the save. He gets knocked over with Struble right there, and here we go again.
Well, the one thing we've seen a lot of in this game, Bartz, is once goalies make saves, there has been some extra action that's coming in late, and these skirmishes are just going to get worse unless the referee starts taking people. Because once they do it 3-4 times now, they know they can get away with it, right? So they're going to come in and take a poke here and there. I don't think there was any question that Dovich had that puck, and this was going to be signed, sealed, and delivered. And then right there, the hand from Malmstein comes out and gives him a bit of a shove. And of course, Struble's going to not like that. I'm not even sure why you would reach out and grab the goaltender. I mean, did you think he was going to start skating away with the puck? I mean, it's just, well, we'll see what kind of penalties get doled out here. I would imagine one each to each guy.
Montreal, number 47, 2-minute minor for roughing. Buffalo, number 29, 2-minute minor. Interference.
So that'll give us 4-on-4 hockey.
35.2 seconds left here in the second period. On the road, if you're Montreal, I mean, going into the third period tied with an opportunity to win a game on the road is always not a bad place to be in. I think they had a little 5-6 minute dip in the early in the second period, and Buffalo took advantage of that.
Kulik steps in for the draw against Jake Evans. Hudson will feed it back for Matheson.
2 minutes of roughing, and Buffalo's number 29.
Matheson finds a little space, and he'll take it down the wing. Checks up. Matheson skates it along the blue line, hands it off for Jake Evans. Centered in front for Newhook, couldn't get his stick on it. Hudson in the corner, breaks free. Takes the hit, got it back to Matheson. Newhook for Matheson. In front, scores! Alex Newhook tips it by, Luukkonen it in with 2.6 left on the clock, and the Canadiens take the lead on the Newhook goal.
When you get to 4-on-4 and the Montreal Canadiens throw out Hudson and Matheson, this is a ton of speed and skating and agility coming from the back end that creates a lot of space. You have to back off them. They're so good. There, Matheson dropped this to Newhook, and he's going to feed it back to Matheson and drive to the net. And what happens is you let him go right through. You cannot let him go right through. And Kulik lets him go right through. There's no dedication to defensive discipline in your zone and being inside your guy. And we've seen Buffalo do that time and time, and this one really bit them. And Newhook sets it up, giving it to Matheson, and drives to the net like he should, and a real nice deflection. That's a big goal for the Canadiens heading into the break.
And you saw Jake Evans take a hit in the slot right on that play, too. He got up and went immediately to the Canadiens dressing room, so we'll monitor that for the start of the third as well. The 4-on-4 hockey will continue when we come back to start the third. Saturday headlines coming up in the second intermission, and Elliot Friedman has got a lot of news to report with the trade deadline coming up. So stay tuned for that and more as the Canadiens lead at 3-2 through 40 on Hockey Night in Canada.
Watch goals go on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network.
Time for the Saturday headlines in our second intermission. Elliot Friedman, you dress up well. Oh, your buddy's giving it to you for coming on set.
Came on.
Bit disheveled. With big news. So listen, you and Kyle
Shirt
have 32
unbuttoned.
thoughts. It's okay. We were focused on the story and not your reputation on that one. Your reputation enhanced by breaking that story. And listen, you and Seth Jones, we were talking with Kyle, when he said Tuesday after the Utah loss, we're the exact same team we were after game one. You said you could do that one more time, maybe, but they'll probably tell him not to do it again, and he won't. He's gone.
And I think that really intensified what Chicago wanted to do, and what Seth Jones wanted to do was find another trade partner, and they did. Seth Jones of the Florida Panthers and a fourth-round pick in exchange a conditional first-round pick. It's either 2026 or 27, and goaltender Spencer Knight. Blackhawks retaining a little over 26% of Jones' salary. That makes Jones a $7 million player for the Panthers for the duration of his contract. And the connection here, Bill Zito, the GM of the Panthers, was in Columbus when Jones was there. That's why there was speculation Florida would be the team. We had two other trades today as well, Ron. Earlier today, the Rangers sent Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and unsigned prospect Hank Kempf to the Colorado Avalanche for Calvin DeHaan, Juuso Parssinen, and two conditional picks. The Avalanche have two picks in each of those rounds. The better of each of those two picks will go to the Rangers. And the other one is, for the second time, the Minnesota Wild have traded for Gustav Nyquist at the deadline. The first time was 2023. They do it again this time for a second-round pick, and the Predators retain 50% of the salary. And by now, also, Ron, Kevin should know he shouldn't leave his notepad around when he's not here.
That's right. Let me write something in it and see if he goes with it. You also, with Kyle, had a great conversation about Mikko Rantanen, and it was a little bit about the cup possibility for Carolina. If they think it's real, do they keep him and then lose him to free agency? Anyway, you go on. Where are we at?
So Mikko Rantanen, the Carolina Hurricanes have a decision to make. It appears unlikely as if Rantanen will make a decision by the trade deadline next Friday, and I don't think it's got anything to do with the money. The Hurricanes have made him a big offer. I think it's more just this has been too much of a whirlwind. It's been really quick. He was really shocked at the trade. He hasn't spent a lot of time in Carolina, so it appears at this time unlikely that he will make any kind of commitment by Friday. So it's Carolina's decision they're going to have to make, and that is, do they want to go for it or do they want to consider flipping him? And I think we'll have a better picture on that in the next couple of days, but I think the ball's in Carolina's court with what they want to do.
Lastly on that, you mentioned the 8 years. The only team that can give him 8-year contract is the team that has him.
The team that has him at the deadline. That's the way it works.
All right, Brad Treliving, I'm sure he'll want to text you after this. Stanley Bowman will want to text you. Patrick Alvine, go ahead. What's happening?
All right, so let's take a run through some of the Canadian teams and what we're looking at. For Toronto, it's pretty common knowledge they are looking hard at centers. They've got a list of centers they're going through to see which one makes the most sense for them. I think one player they are definitely considering in terms of both the acquisition cost and is there any way they can do possible retention is Braden Shen of the St. Louis Blues. If you're a Toronto fan, you heard Craig Berube wax poetic about him yesterday, but I don't believe the Maple Leafs are the lone team in considering this. I believe there are others. One of them, although they haven't confirmed it obviously, is Vegas. We'll see. There's competition there, but he is definitely a guy Toronto's thinking about very hard. Edmonton, last night, Evander Kane's no-trade protection evaporated. He no longer has a full no-trade clause. He has a partial one. And his situation is that the Oilers are going through those teams and they're trying to see what the market could be for him. Now, right now, the injury situation is still uncertain. We don't have a timeline, but the Oilers are trying to see if there is a market for Kane, because if they do decide to go in that direction, they could open up more cap room for themselves. In Vancouver, the Canucks have a situation where they're looking to add to their forward group, whether it's now or it's later. That is something they're looking at and seeing what they can do. Look, anything can happen at this time of year. You've learned that one phone call can change everything. I'm not expecting anything to happen with Pettersson. When it comes to Brock Besser, it was reported this week that earlier this year there was a 5x8 offer that was not taken. I understand that was earlier in the season, in the first half of the year. I don't think there have been talks for a while. We'll see where this goes over the next few days, but I think both team and player are expecting all options to be open, whether it's trade, keep, or sign. I don't think either side has a great idea the way this is going to unfold at this point in time, but I do think the Canucks still want to make the playoffs. I don't think they want to make themselves in any way less able to do it, and I do think overall they want to add to their forward group.
Just watching in the room, Elliot, 5 trades in 36 hours. There were 20 trades in the 7 days leading up to the deadline last year. Do you feel this year is going to be lots of action, or what's your sense of it?
I think the Rantanen thing, it holds over it, whatever Carolina decides to do here. And the other thing, too, is I do think there's a bunch of teams that are right near the playoff cut line right now, Ron, that might wait until Tuesday or Wednesday until they make a final decision either way. So that could open or close things as we proceed.
Finally, Brad Marchand got hurt today.
Yes, so this afternoon it was Pittsburgh and Boston, and it was kind of a weird-looking play. I don't think there's any intent to injure here by Joseph, but his left leg goes out with the contact there with the stick, and Marchand looked very dazed and left the game. The Bruins expect to have a better idea tomorrow of what this is, but the good news is it doesn't appear that anybody is concerned this is a long-term thing. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully he's okay.
Elliot Friedman, and your Saturday headlines, and there's Kevin Bieksa rescuing his little blue book. Okay, good. Don't read the first line in there. All right, don't forget our Hockey Central coverage with Kevin and Elliot and the crew on Sportsnet is Friday at 10 a.m., 7 a.m. Pacific. The panel on Hockey Night in Canada coming up next.
Provided by Jack Victor.
Welcome back. 4 games in 40 seconds, Jennifer.
Okay, yes, in Winnipeg, Hellebuck has made some outstanding saves for them. Kyle Connor continues to be very dangerous. And Perfetti continues to impress with a responsible two-way game, helping out in defense and having some really nice offensive chances, including a sweet backhand toe drag.
Edmonton up 2-2. Calvin Pickard perfect, 20 saves. We're looking at McDavid. We talked about his ice time and the volume of hockey that he's had over the last little while. He's first in ice time for forwards right now, playing 16 minutes. At one point, he was averaging 1:09 per shift, so maybe overextending a bit, but keep an eye on it.
Protect your notes around here, Luke.
What?
Ottawa led in 2 special team goals that period, so they're down 2-1, 2 penalty kill goals.
And you were saying a 5-goal outburst down in Buffalo. It's Montreal leading 3-2 after 40 minutes, and that one, Alex Newhook, a buzzer beater, has the Habs in front. We'll get you to the third period on Hockey Night in Canada after this.
The most electrifying play of the game is brought to you by Polestar. Discover a new form of electric performance. Electric might be the perfect way to describe Lane Hudson when he picks up the puck. He's been great tonight, factoring in on 2 of the 3 Habs goals. This one, he decides to pick it up, take it end to end, sets up the Josh Anderson goal. As good as he is with the puck, he's running into a great defensive player. This was the other night against Carolina. Doesn't need to use the body against one of the league's top players in Mikko Rantanen. He's elusive. He uses his feet to get away with a clean breakout.
Intelligence. I mean, Mac, it's his intelligence. He knows he can't outmuscle these guys, so he's got to outsmart them and use his quickness and his stick to win battles, and he does.
10th multi-assist game of the season for Lane Hudson, 5 more than any other rookie. As one career 3-assist game, which came on January 14th against Utah. He's got a minute 4, still to go in the 4-on-4 hockey with Matheson on the puck. Matheson drops it off for Hudson, nearly poked away by McLeod, but Lane Hudson will backhand it in as Nick Suzuki catches up to it, spins and throws it in front. Hudson will go after the puck. Lane Hudson try to get it down to the front of the net. That's broken up, and here comes Darlene the other way for the Sabres. Dropped it off, broken up. Nick Suzuki's got it. He'll take his time with it. Suzuki leaves it for Carrier. And Carrier will start out with it as he gets up to center. He'll flip it in, and out of the net comes Luukkonen trying to work the puck, but it's taken away by Jake Evans. Good news for Evans to start the period after going right off there after that goal, and knocked off his stick, and he goes immediately after Bryson as Peterka follows up with it. Peterka dropped it off for Cousins. Cousins leading in, and a bouncing puck for Connor Clifton with a shot. Dobish will save, and it's cleared away in front of the net and out of the zone by Arbor-Jacka, and that'll force Beck Mallenstein back. Back at 5 aside as Brendan Gallagher's into the forecheck. Gallagher comes up with it. Gallagher to the net. Drags it across in front. Couldn't tuck it in around Luukkonen. Canadians continue to press from the point. Lane Hudson got it over to Gallagher. Shot towards the net off the blocker of Luukkonen as Anderson was knocked down in front of the goal. He's slow to get back to his feet and rejoins the play now. Jack Quinn up with it for Buffalo. Quinn puts it off the outside of the net, and that goes out of play. And that one might have grazed the post as well from the outside of the goal.
I think Clifton took down Anderson in front of the net, but what a play by Gallagher. He gets on Clifton. Clifton coughs the puck up, then he takes it right to the net. He knows he's going to have an opportunity because of Clifton falling down, but good job by Gallagher to get on him quickly. And as he cuts through, he just can't get his stick on it. They deposit it into the net, and then here Quinn comes in and tries to, I'm not sure if he's trying to bank this off the back of his sweater or his helmet, but why not try it? You see guys try that more and more often now when they're below the goal line. If they don't have a play, they'll try to bank it in off a defenseman's leg or the back of the goaltender.
I think that'll count as the 4th goalpost of the night then for Buffalo, and that's 97 on the year. And I said earlier they might hit the 100 mark tonight the way they were going. There's Peterka, throws it towards the net as Thompson was going there, trying to get his stick on it for a tip. Oh, and Peterka comes in and lays the body out on Matheson. Dvorak up with it, hands it off for Armia, and Armia will fire it into the Sabres zone. Matheson has got it, he'll dump it back in. That got away from Luukkonen behind the net. Jordan Greenway is on it. Laid across for Byram, and he'll dump it in as Savard has got the rolling puck and sends it over to Jacka. Arbor-Jacka flips it up ahead at center. Owen Beck trying to work his way in. Gilbert down the wing and out, and here comes Tuck with it through center. Dumps it in, it skips off the side of the net. Savard played it for Beck. Into the feet of Newhook and out to center. Gilbert backpedals in his own zone, hands it off, and it's Bryson that'll get it out. Here comes Tuck with it, shot towards the net. That is blocked by Arbor-Jacka, and they'll clear it out.
Well, he felt that one. He's got the throbbing left foot, trying to get the feeling back in it as he stays on the ice.
Bryson hands it off as Owen Power will take it coming off the bench over to Jack Quinn. Try to flip it towards the net. Power behind the goal. Checked by Arbor-Jacka. Jacka will put it off the glass. Kicked back in by Krebs. And then Jacka just strong arms Power down to the ice. Slavkovsky pass up to center for Caulfield. Try to tip it in by Power. That didn't work. Samuelson gets it up ahead for McLeod. Suzuki gets a couple of whacks at it back in the net with Quinn there as well. Slavkovsky comes up with it. They'll move it forward for Nick Suzuki. Darlene, stop that dumping. He'll play it over to Samuelson. Up ahead for Tage Thompson. Matheson is there. Quickly for Dvorak. Dvorak down the wing, and it taken away, and Darlene will spring Thompson back up ice for Buffalo. Drops it. Darlene with a shot kicked out by Dobish. Dvorak to Gallagher. Across for Anderson. Josh Anderson will roll it back behind the net. Anderson with a goal is the 11th Canadiens player with 10 goals this season. Last time Montreal had 11 players with 10 goals through 60 games was back in the 1988-89 season. The Canadiens now lead the league with 10 goal scorers, with Anderson being the 11th. Jake Evans lifted out at center. Gets the puck back with Clifton there, then had to dodge a check, so Matheson will take it. Armia up ahead for Heineman, who will deflect it in. It goes after Connor Clifton. Lays the body out on him as Jake Evans rolled it back for Savard. Shot towards the net, deflected wide. Heineman bumped. Armia kept it in, tried to throw it to the net, off the foot of Cousins, and a pass ahead for Tuck is off his stick. Couldn't get the break, and Struble will back up with it.
Well, it had to be such a bullet pass because he only had a split second to hit the seam with it, and it just couldn't hang on to it, or Alex Tuck was in all alone.
Patrick Laine at center ice with it. Feeds it back for Savard, over to Struble. Laine tried to chip that one. It came up and hit Krebs in the face by the looks of it, but he'll continue to play as Struble gives it back for Savard, and it's worked out to center. Now Struble's got it again. Here comes Krebs. Lays the body out on Struble as Laine will flip it in. Pekka Luukkonen plays the puck. Sabres working along the boards in their own end with Ryan McLeod trying to kick it free. Tangled up with Owen Beck. Beck got it loose. Pass coming in. Cutting to the goal was Caulfield. He was checked before he could get a shot. Krebs back the other way. Across the line. Turned it over. And a break for Cole Caulfield. Caulfield checks up. Looks for some help. He gets it. Hands it off. Carrier with a shot towards the net with Slavkovsky in front looking for a deflection. Suzuki dumps it in. Slavkovsky goes after it. He got knocked down, and the Sabres will carry it back the other way. Krebs with a shot. That one whistles over the net and off the glass. Nick Suzuki feeds it back around for Savard. He'll lift it up. Batted up in the air by Slavkovsky. Trying to catch up to it on his own, and Buffalo clears it away, and Savard will dump it back in. Suzuki's got a clear here on the delayed offside. Owen Power dropped it back. Thompson can't get through center ice, but he's back to his feet and on the puck and trying to snap that towards the net. Now he backhands it towards the goal. It's blocked by Dobish. Gallagher trying to chase it down to the corner. Pulled out, and that pass by Cousins gets away, back down the ice, break for the Canadiens. Dvorak with Anderson going to the net. Dvorak waiting, still has it, put it off the outside of the post, jamming at it in front. Anderson tried to get it in, and Luukkonen holds it out, and here we go again with yet another scrum after the whistle around the goal. Boy, we have seen a lot of those tonight, and they continue in this divisional battle as the Canadiens try to extend their lead, but Luukkonen holds the fort in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada. Buffalo, where the Canadians have the lead, and they're trying to get their 4th win in a row for the first time since February of 2022, and it's been a bit of a crazy night so far, but they're on the road trying to get the 2 points.
Absolutely. The road wins don't have to be good looking. They just have to be accomplished, and I think for the Montreal Canadiens, it hasn't certainly been an oil painting for them, but they have found a way with that late goal in the second period on the new hook tip to get the lead in this hockey game, and they're, a half a period away from winning their 4th game in a row, and that just inches them a little bit closer to that wild card race, and that's exactly where they want to be.
Lane Hudson up with the puck, played it across, great chance. Oh, Luukkonen comes up with a save off new hook. Alex Tuck will take it. He'll move it across for Owen Power. Power dropped it back. Here's Greenway on it. Played it over to McLeod, waiting, trying to go back across for Power, and a good stick by Newhook as he broke up that pass. McLeod has got it again. McLeod hands it off. Trying to work his way to the net as Owen Power has no space, but he'll hand it off for Tuck. Greenway to Tuck, centered in front. McLeod to Power, shot blocked. Rebound comes back to McLeod. Tuck with a drive. Finish the save. Side of the net. Power can't get a stick on it. Tuck has got it. Now it's McLeod. Try to work it back for Tuck. Broken up by Lane Hudson. Hudson will take it. Long pass ahead. Connects with Laine. And Laine will get it into the Buffalo zone where Samuelson will clear it back out.
Well, some really good defensive plays for the Montreal Canadiens in that sequence in their zone. Good sticks.
Armia comes up with it. Armia tries to go to the net. Gets it back, shoots, and that's kicked up by Luukkonen. Puck comes right back to Armia once more. Fed around behind the net. Evans flips it across. Puck grabbed by Dylan Cousins. Got it to the point. Arbor Jacki trying to hold it in. Jeff Quinn chasing after it. Heineman right on him. And now Savard will go after Quinn in the corner. Benson gets checked by Arbor Jacki as the Canadians get it out at center. Cousins played it across. Here comes Quinn. Lost a handle on it. Worked up ice, and Heineman will try to catch up to it. A little too far, but that'll allow Montreal to get the change. As Jacob Bryson will move the puck free. But here comes Slavkovsky. Goes right after Bowen Byram. Bryson up through center. Thompson with it. Thompson holds onto it. Comes around the goal. Dropped it off for Byron. Got it right back. Thompson now swings it around. Play broken up in the corner. Kulich tried to move it. At the point. Jacob Bryson checked by Slavkovsky. Paige Thompson tried to find it. Caulfield cleared it away and gets it back down the ice. Clifton will hand it off for Dennis Gilbert. Up ahead to Thompson. Backhanded into the Canadian zone. Matheson will take it. Matheson up to center and dumps it in. Luukkonen hands it off for Gilbert. Connor Clifton trying to work it up the boards and did. McLeod will get it across. Gilbert carries it up ice. Throws it back over to Tuck. Alex Tuck tried to get it to the net. Off the foot of Dvorak. Kicks back for McLeod. McLeod to Tuck in the corner. Tries to shake off Dvorak. Hudson cuts it off behind the net. Dvorak is there with a backhand that'll clear it to center as Clifton will catch it. Gallagher right on him, but he moved it for McLeod. By McLeod, by Heineman. Gets it over to Greenway. Trying to drop it back for Tuck. Picked off by Jake Evans, and he ran into Hudson. Rasmus Dahlin on it. Dahlin throws it to the net. Domish the save, and the puck flipped back to the goal. Jacki continues to battle for it. Now it comes free. Here's Spring with a shot. That one will roll to the net, and now Greenway and Jacki all tangled up back behind the goal.
Well, Greenway's a big, solid guy. And remember, he dropped Jacki behind the net in the second period with a crushing body check. And I don't think Jacki has forgotten that. And as Jacki was trying to keep him away from getting to the net, it started as a wrestling match, but they didn't get really loose. about defensive coverages in this game, and some of it has been a bit lax, especially in Buffalo, but Montreal earlier in the game. But watch these two nice defensive plays. Newhook coming down, cutting off the seam, so the back door is not available to Power. And then here's a rebound, close proximity to the guy you're covering. If Struble isn't there strong with his stick, Power's shoving that into the open net. So two really good defensive plays down low in your defensive coverages, and you don't give the Buffalo Sabres a quality scoring chance and an opportunity to tie this game up.
Shots 26-24 in favor of the Canadiens. And some more 4-on-4 hockey.
Montreal has excelled on the 4-on-4 in this game, and the 4-on-4s that we've seen, Matheson and Hudson have really dialed it in.
Here's Dahlin up with it. Drops it off. Sabres cycle it around as Thompson fell but made the pass. Peterka's shot deflected away by Matheson. Matheson after it on the boards, poked it up for Newhook. He threw it back down low in the corner, but Dahlin was there, and he'll swing it around for Peterka.
Much to his shock. I mean, he thought he was throwing it back to his own guy, and Dahlin was still there.
Rasmus Dahlin tried to poke it away. Carrier's got it, hands it off for Matheson. And Matheson will get it up ahead at center. Newhook is on it. Newhook over the line, dropped it off for Evans. Jake Evans will circle back and he'll take it out to center. Struble backs up with it as Suzuki and Caulfield jump on the ice for the Canadiens. Struble back for Caulfield. Over for Nick Suzuki. He'll send it in. Luukkonen stopped it back in there. Up to Perreault and Power. Hands it off for Tuck. Played across for Bryson, but broken up by Nick Suzuki. Tuck has got it, and now got it up onto the wing for Cousins. Here's Power. Tuck follows up. Oh, that one went right off the leg of Cousins to the net. Tobish to save, and Power's forced back to his own zone. Quick pass up for Cole Caulfield. Caulfield jumps into the Buffalo zone. Can't get by the check of Power. Sabres had to be careful there. They were in the middle of a change when Caulfield was racing in. Dahlin up to center, hands it across. Kulik tries to work his way in. The plate in front. Dvorak knocks it down. Collision with Matheson and Dahlin as Dahlin was coming around the net. Puck skips to Luukkonen, and he's going to cover it up and take the whistle just as the penalties expire. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third, and the Canadiens have a 1-goal lead in Buffalo on Hockey Night in Canada.
In the second period, the difference maker, a give and go with Newhook to Matheson, and then the tip in as he skates right through the slot and changes the direction of that puck, which fools Luukkonen, and that is the one that is the difference maker right now with Montreal Canadiens lead 3-2 with 5:48 to go in the third period.
Trying to close the gap on that playoff spot and tighten things up in the East. Savard will send it around back to the net. Thompson knocked down by Slafkovsky, but he gets back up, feeds it across at center, and it's Samuelson that'll lift it in. Arbor Xhekaj trying to play. Comes right in front for Thompson. And he snaps it towards it as it's deflected out of play.
Desjardins Financial Group. Wherever you're headed, Desjardins is here to assist.
Well, you don't like to give up chances right in your slot area, and you especially don't want to give them up to a guy with 28 goals. Tage Thompson walks right in, and he just pulls this thing wide. I mean, you could see his hand turn over on it.
Matheson will flip it down the ice. That'll be an icing call.
That's one Tage Thompson would like to have over. I think he realized he overplayed it. Face-offs are so important. Montreal coming into the third period was winning 60% of the draws, which bodes well if you're going to be taking face-offs in your zone. Buffalo has struggled a bit in the face-off circle, but with less, 5:22 to go, every offensive face-off is important.
Matheson will lift it down the ice, and it just rolls wide of the net for another icing call.
And again, a clean win for Montreal, right? I mean, if you're Buffalo and you're having trouble in the dot area, talk to your wingers. Get them to jump in. Try to win a draw, scramble it, and try to win it on a puck battle. But you just don't want to lose them clean.
Kulik will take the draw against Dvorak to the right of Dolish this time. Kulik won it. Dahlin skates it in. Dahlin trying to get it in front line. Down was Carrier. Blocked the pass, and the Canadiens get the puck to center. Thompson backs up with it. Now gets it up on the wing. Peterka deflects it in. Peterka around the goal. Trying to throw it in front, and it's pulled towards the net by Kulik and wide. Carrier's got it off the boards and out. Anderson will knock it down. Josh Anderson plays it in. Luukkonen out of the net will move it for Byram. Peterka flips it into the corner. Trying to go after it. Struble is there up onto the wing. Now it's handed off, and Cousins trying to snap it towards the net. It's blocked. He'll go after the rolling puck. Dylan Cousins turned it over, and it's carried out by Armia. And Armia will fire it into the Sabres' end. Heineman was buzzing around, hoping that puck was going to be knocked loose by Evans. He was wide open there, but Evans couldn't get it out to him. Struble on it. Hands it off for Hudson. Lane Hudson, long pass ahead. Connects with Evans, who backhands it in. Luukkonen stopped it. A little chip pass by Bryson, and Jack Quinn will work it up through center for Cousins. Cousins along the boards, gave it back to Bryson. Pressured by Slafkovsky. Bryson hands it up for Greenway at the line of drive. Is blocked as Cousins trying to get it back towards the net. Now Dobish will hand it off. Carrier takes his time with it, played it up for Slafkovsky, who tips it in. Krebs back the other way for Buffalo. Hudson falls, Krebs finds a step. Krebs trying to pass. Chipped away by Anderson. Savard after it. Savard flipped it around for Hudson. Lane Hudson will clear it out, and Anderson picks it up in the Buffalo zone. Backhanded on net. Oh, that was more dangerous than it needed to be for Luukkonen.
Well, again, good job by Hudson on the Savard D-to-D behind the net. He doesn't panic and just throw it hard. He waits for Anderson to get some lane up the ice against the wall, and he gets two zones out of it.
Krebs got it across. It's tipped in. Matheson goes after it. Carrier off the wing. Nick Suzuki bats at it, and it's cleared away by Dvorak. Luukkonen makes his way to the Buffalo bench. Extra attacker on for the Sabres. Matheson after to the corner. Thompson is there. Dug out by Kulik. Back to the point. Shot towards the net is gloved by Dovish as Power tried to push that one through the traffic.
Well, the goaltender out, extra attacker on. Buffalo gets into the zone. Montreal can't get a handle on the puck, and then Kulik just lays it back to Power, and he does the right thing. Find an opening and get it to the net. There's lots of bodies going there, and great job by Dovish to get that puck out of midair, snag it, no rebounds, no second chances.
Thompson with some directions. Dvorak did the same. It's Dvorak that wins it. Matheson will come up with it and clear it down the ice. And it'll be another icing call as Byram's back to get it. Still to come tonight. As the NHL trade deadline approaches, Quinn Hughes and the Vancouver Canucks head south for a Pacific Northwest rivalry showdown against the Seattle Kraken. The West Coast Hockey Night in Canada matchup coming up 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Sportsnet and CBC.
That's the game last night in New York with the Maple Leafs, and they missed 3 empty nets and created 3 more faceoffs in their end. And I was just thinking to myself, how often can you go to the well as Matheson tried an aerial into the empty net?
Here's Byram, hands it off, quick shot off the draw, gets blocked as Thompson can't get it through, and Buffalo's forced back inside their own line. Colleen watched by Evans, hands it off for Peterka. Peterka will gain the line and dump it in. Oh, that one took a weird bounce and then hit the referee Chris Lee. And now Peterka missed the pass. 2-on-1 Canadians. Dvorak gets it across, and it's an empty net goal for Jake Evans. And that will send the Sabres fans home, and the Canadiens fans here in the building are on their feet.
Well, a real fortuitous bounce. The puck hit the stanchion, hit the referee, and it kind of changed the dynamic of the shift. But then a bad pass by Tuck up the wall. It goes off the shin pad of McLeod, and all of a sudden the Montreal Canadiens have themselves a 2-on-1 with an open net. Dvorak, Evans, and into the back of the net it goes. And the Montreal Canadiens will win their 4th consecutive game, and good on them as they stay in the race for that wild card spot and a big win on the road here in Buffalo.
Luukkonen will go to the bench again. Well, the Rangers lost to Toronto last night. Boston won. Columbus won. Ottawa leading at last check. As the puck gets shot down the ice again by Evans. This one will roll well wide and be an icing call. A chance for the Canadiens to at least gain the ground on the Rangers and stay up to pace with everyone else.
Well, all you could do is look after your games and look after what you're doing. Yes, other teams, because they're ahead of you, and that's the one thing. It's not the amount of points you need, it's the amount of teams you have to leapfrog, right? Because they all play on night. Sometimes there's 3 points that go out in a specific game that could really hurt you. But at the end of the day, you control what you can control.
Cousins gets it down for Greenway. Check to the boards by Struble. When Struble hit by Cousins, puck goes down the ice wide of the net, icing it out. Dovish and Greenway have words as Greenway is right up in the face of Dovish. Struble's going to come back. Cousins gets involved, and things are going to boil over a bit here.
Well, Greenway has certainly been around the net quite a bit tonight. He's a big body. He likes to get in front of your goaltender. Him and Dovish have had a couple of exchanges throughout the night. So maybe when he got cranked into the M boards, Dovish might have been catcalling him from the crease, and Greenway didn't like it. You see here, and Struble's a big, strong guy too, as he just catches Greenway leaning over. Nothing malicious, just a good hard shove, and then you can see Dovish having a conversation with Greenway, and he stops and returns to the crease and didn't like it. A little push, and I don't think much is going to come out of this.
Well, there will be be a couple of penalties here.
I think you just send them to the locker rooms. I don't know why you would send them to the penalty box. Just send them to the locker rooms and get rid of it.
It's an extra player in the box right now for Buffalo.
Well, you remember Cousins came in, right? Cousins came into the pile and jumped in, so that's your extra one there.
Buffalo, number 12, 2-minute minor for cross-checking. Buffalo and Montreal both 2 minutes for roughing.
That'll be Cousins and Struble on the rough. The Canadians will get a power play here as a result.
Well, the cross-check was that little push into the belly of Dobish. There wasn't really much of a cross-check, but you want to just get the combatants off the ice and into the box. Like I said, I would be sending them right to the locker rooms. I wouldn't be messing around with it at all, but 57.7 seconds.
These two teams will go at it again in Montreal on Monday night on the back end of this home-and-home series. Canadians have already won both meetings against the Sabres this year and will improve to 6-0 against Buffalo since the start of the 22-23 season. We're going to face off down in the Buffalo zone as a result. Suzuki on the draw. To the line, Hudson has got it. Gets it over to Anderson. Down to Slavkovsky. Looking in on the short side. Anderson at the point with it. Will backhand it in. Slavkovsky trying to knock it down off the glass. Wayne Hudson. Got it back down low. Slavkovsky moves it around the corner. Lifted up the boards. Broken up by Nick Suzuki. And the Sabres will clear it down the ice. Dobish out of the net. He'll stop it and set things up. Canadiens fans have made the trek to Buffalo. We'll take this one home. For the first time since February of 2022, the Canadiens have won 4 straight games with Marty St. Louis behind the bench. Jakub Dobish snaps his 3-game losing streak. He gets the victory. And the Canadiens will at least pass the New York Rangers in the standings in their hunt to get back in to the playoff race. What a night, what a win. The rematch coming Monday in Montreal, but more to come on Hockey Night in Canada.